Hi, this is James Headley. Welcome back to the Living in Naples channel. The National Association of Realtors recently released the results of a nationwide survey aimed at understanding what home buyers were looking for in a real estate agent. In today's episode, I'm going to share those findings and provide a little of my own perspective and experience where appropriate to each of these top 8 buyer wants that NAR identified. Before doing so, let me thank you as always for taking a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Whether you have or not, please do share the channel with anyone you think might benefit from the information here. And of course, appreciate you also liking the videos if you do like them. If you don't, please give me some feedback. Would love to hear from you and certainly take any recommendations or requests very seriously and hope to address those in future episodes. With that, let me now turn to looking at NAR's rundown of the top 8 things that buyers are looking for from a real estate agent. Number 1 was help in understanding the process, contracts, timelines, etc. If you've spent much time here on the channel perusing any other episodes, you know that I have provided some general context and even a number of specifics when it comes to what you should expect in these areas. Of course, if you choose to reach out and enlist my services as your agent, we can discuss in depth how these apply to your specific circumstances and help you to smoothly navigate the process. Number 2 was pointing out unnoticed features and or faults with a property. I actually find this one could be a little misleading, or at least I think an agent's value here may be slightly different from NAR's wording. By this, I mean that as your agent, I'm not trying to do the job of the home inspector that we're going to enlist as an expert anyway once we move forward with a purchase offer, but rather I see this as understanding what you want in a home, in a sense, how you plan to live in the home, and helping you to see how a specific property might meet your plans better or worse than another. That brings us to number 3, and also I'm going to pair that with number 4. That was negotiating better sales contract terms and negotiating a better price. These were separated in buyers' responses in the survey, but I think it's worth discussing them together for hopefully obvious reasons. Again, lots of discussion here on the channel and other videos about making the best possible offer for you. So let me just add the aside that it might be worth checking out LinkedIn to get a broader sense of the backgrounds of agents who you may be considering before entrusting them with one of the largest and most important purchases of your life, just to get a sense of perhaps what their backgrounds may help to bring to the table, both within real estate and outside. It brings us to number 5, and that is providing a list of service providers. Need a landscaper, a plumber who works after hours and doesn't charge like a K Street lobbyist, a handyman, painter, etc. Just ask me anytime before or after the purchase. I still get questions and requests 6 years later from some of the first buyers I worked with looking for these things, and always happy to lend a hand. That brings us to number 6, and that is improving a buyer's knowledge of search areas. This one would be near the top of my list, frankly, as a buyer, especially if I were moving to an area that I hadn't lived in before. Is your agent telling you what you want to hear in order to sell you a home, or are they being transparent, even if it means revealing some of the lowlights along with the highlights? Let me just say I've taken a fair amount of heat over the years for videos on this channel that tell both sides, but I believe in providing a full and authentic picture for prospective buyers so that they can make an informed decision and not run into surprises later down the road. Number 7 is shortening a buyer's home search time. I'm a little hesitant about this one. I prefer to see my role in this category as working on each buyer's ideal home search timeline. For some that are ready and even perhaps have to move quickly, it's time for me to shift into my old New York City corporate gear again. But for others who are more in the category of prioritizing the right home much more than the right now, I am not going to pressure you to buy something sooner than makes sense for you just to cash a check. And finally, number 8 is expanding a buyer's search area. As I noted a couple of items ago, my goal is to understand what is important to each buyer client and use that information to share both the highlights and any lowlights that an area or property may have based upon each client's context. In some cases, that may mean referring a client to someone in a different area where I don't have the expertise to help along these 7 prior topic areas, but where the fit is better in that area for that particular buyer. Bottom line, again, I'm not going to try to squeeze a square peg into a round hole just to benefit myself. I hope some or all of this was useful to you and or to someone that you know. Again, please do share, subscribe, and like, and please keep tuning into the channel. And of course, if you see a purchase in the area in your future, short or long term, please do reach out anytime so we can start start down the path of some of these top 8 items and others that I'd recommend we begin to speak about early in the process. And with that, thanks again, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next episode.